up.
Law Murray of The Athletic covers the NBA joining us. Law, when we look at the Kings roster this offseason, a lot of people point to DeMar DeRozan as a guy that, likely could be on the move. What do you think DeRozan's value is around the league?
I think it's tough, man. I think I like the contract that the Kings got him on, but a lot went down. Like, we're thinking De'Aaron Fox is going to be there. There was a real breakdown there. There's a breakdown with the head coach, breakdown with the front office. And now you're in a situation where DeMar is a player who, like, what do you do there? DeMar is good at what he's good at. I don't think the rest of the league is looking to try and snag DeMar like that. And so when you look at value and DeMar, I don't see a lot of scenarios where the Kings make out well in a deal for DeMar. Like, I think that I struggle to see a situation where the Kings get a better player than DeMar in that kind of a deal. So that's a struggle. And I know there's a new GM there now with Scott Perry, and there's what he said about Zach LaVine.
Right.
Like, that's the tough thing too. It's like, we were talking about the Clipper fan base was talking about Zach LaVine last year, and people were confused as to why his value would be so low. Like, he's a guy who can shoot and score, and when Zach is playing his best, that's aesthetically pleasing because of his athleticism and grace when he plays. And I'm like, it's not about Zach the player. It's about Zach the asset. Like, if you're having that on your team, and then this is what I was saying about Brunson and Halliburton, it's about what kind of players are fitting around them and what kind of team do you have around them. And then there's the fact that there's things you have to consider with age and durability. DeMar has been durable, but that dude is entering year 17 next year. Like, we see that there are some activity-related things that DeMar is starting to decline on a bit. Like, give the ball to DeMar. DeMar is going to take care of the ball, make good decisions, get to his mid-range, make that shot. But who does DeMar defend? You've had Keegan Murray having to defend the guys and chase them around, and you see how much that takes away from Keegan Murray's game. You don't have a point guard. If you get a point guard, what are they going to do? They got to get the ball to Zach, to DeMar, to Domantas Sabonis. You have so many issues there with so much talent. It's so confounding. And everyone in the league knows this. And that's what's going to make things hard for the Kings.
Law, last one for me, joined by Law Murray of The Athletic. I want to stay there and kind of compare. We're talking about DeMar's value. One of the teams that we have heard has been the Lakers. And you're right there in Los Angeles, even though you do a lot of covering of the league. You do a little, of course, you handle the Clippers. Do you see a fit for DeMar playing a part for the Lakers? Or, as you said, is it just difficult to see DeMar fitting at anywhere right now?
Absolutely not with the Lakers, unless LeBron does something crazy. And so what I can tell, LeBron ain't trying to give up no money. Like,
right.
Come on now. Again, we got to see what LeBron's next contract looks like. He's got a $52 million player option. But he's either picking that up or he's opting out, and he's not exactly opting out to give nobody a discount. You know what I mean? LeBron is trying to generate generational wealth here.
Yeah.
He's trying to do some things that folks don't really get to do at certain levels. So you got 2 years left on DeMar's contract. He's making around $25 million in both of them. You got to find a way. And the Lakers already have depth issues. So if you're going to keep Luka, if you're going to keep LeBron, I don't think the Lakers are like trying to give up Austin Reeves or somebody to get DeMar on their team. And DeMar doesn't fit. The Lakers already have too many cooks in the kitchen, if you will, as far as ball handlers. They need supplemental players. It's the same thing with the Kings. The Kings have a good problem, if you will, as far as, hey, they have guys to play through. What the Kings need is some depth and some dogs.
Law Murray joining us. Law, I'm going to let you go on with this question right here. we're trying to figure out a path forward for Sacramento. We talked about DeMar DeRozan. We know Zach LaVine's contract. There's a segment of the fan base that says, tear it all down, tank, try to be OKC. What do you make of a team like Sacramento with established players looking to blow it up and tank and maybe going through a dark age once again, 3, 5, 6 years?
I don't think tanking is their best option. I mean, you look at this year, they lost their lottery pick because of the Kevin Huerter trade. Kevin Huerter's not even on team no more. You know what I'm saying? So I don't love where they're at. I think the Kings being competitive is pretty good. Like, you got Doug Christie now. He knows that's his job. He's not the interim head coach anymore. So I think that there's something there. If you can keep guys healthy, they're going to be tough to defend because they have interior scoring. They have guys who, honestly, that team shouldn't have issues turning the ball over. There's a pathway for them to build the margin to be competitive. Now, tanking requires you to be able to have the draft picks to tank and to be able to actually be in a spot where you can sit there and develop for 5 years, and I'm just not sure that they have the assets to do that right now. They're going to have to get really creative, and I just don't think they're set up to do that. Also, you have to draft really well, and I think the Kings have had decent draft picks, but then keeping those guys has been an issue. So I don't see tanking in their future right now, especially with some of the guys on that team.
Law Murray